The Season 10 trailer for Overwatch had a lot of hidden secrets, stuff that is very easy to miss. Let's have a look. The Season 10 trailer launched and it delivered on what you expect to see in a trailer like that, which is basically some of the content that we can expect in the next season. But Blizzard tends to be a little cheeky. They tend to hide some stuff in these trailers, and this could be hints towards the future, even beyond Season 10, but also small elements of lore. I went through this trailer almost frame by frame. I sacrificed my eyesight, much like those nuns did back in Brugge, when they were making the finest lace coffee table covers. But instead of a coffee table cover, I have a list of secrets, of Easter eggs, and details that you might have missed in this Season 10 trailer for Overwatch though. Let's start out at the beginning, because if we did it the other way around, that would be stupid. We'll skip on the adventure sequence, since that didn't learn us much new. Well, except from the fact that they really like the rock ponds. And we're starting out the trailer on Gibraltar, the canon version of Gibraltar, the headquarters of Overwatch. But then the mirror breaks and we end up in Mirrorwatch verse. And this whole Gibraltar Overwatch map flips into a Talon Gibraltar map. The whole map got a paint job. There's grey walls, Talon logos left and right, and they even painted both the dropship and that rocket at the end that launches when you enter the game. And in case you were wondering how they feel about Overwatch, yeah, check this garbage bin. Yeah, this was on purpose. I checked the canon version, the version that is normally in game, and there is no Overwatch box in that garbage bin, so cheeky Talon. The first heroes we get to see in this new reality is Doomfist, Amelie Lacroix, and Sombra. Doomfist seems to be the strike commander for Overwatch. He has that same emblem on his armor that Jack Morrison has in the canon version. It's not like they're doing these switches randomly. I do think there's a story behind it, and I hope that one day, preferably when this event starts, we'll find out what that story is. But how did Doomfist become the leader of Overwatch? It is really Doomfist, the man that can level a skyscraper with his gauntlet. In the canon lore, Doomfist, the original one, the first one, was actually a good guy. It was the second guy that corrupted the name of Doomfist, and he actually joined Talon. Akande, the Doomfist you know today, is the third Doomfist, and he was the pupil of the second one, and he just kind of continued that legacy. So in this reality, maybe that second Doomfist never happened, and Akande is actually the pupil of the first Doomfist, the good guy. But he clearly still is just as ambitious as he is in the canon lore, so he kind of made it all the way up to becoming the leader of Overwatch. By the way, Doomfist has a canister on his shoulder, which basically is a charge for that healing pylon that Soldier 76 uses. Now this might be a hint to one of his reimagined abilities, or it might just be a small detail to kind of emphasize that he is replacing Soldier. In case that was not clear enough, if you see all that blue and the logos plastered everywhere on that skin. Next to Doomfist is Amelie Lacroix, or as we know her, Widowmaker. The thing is that Widowmaker was her codename with Talon. She was corrupted by Talon, and she ended up killing her own husband, Gerard Lacroix, who was a big operative in the Overwatch team. Now, it is kind of hard to tell if she's still married to Gerard because you can't see a ring or anything, but she's definitely not looking corrupted. She's looking extremely healthy. So the question is she still called Widowmaker? She clearly is still very fascinated by spiders, as you can see in that emote that she's using. That emote is actually an old one and has been in the game for a while. Now for a second I thought they had replaced the Black Widow spider that she usually has with this one, but it turns out that this has always been the color, because it is, I think, tied in to Dryad skin. It kind of looks like a Recluse spider, and Recluse would be a cool name for an operative in the Overwatch team. Just a little less vindictive. Or maybe she's called Lieutenant Lacroix or something like that. Two details you might have missed on this Widowmaker skin is that the Venomine canister that she has on her wrist actually has yellow fluid in it, much like in the case with Anna's abilities. And she also took Anna's cybernetic eye. In the canon lore, Anna has a cybernetic eye that she got during her time in the Egyptian army. But that eye was taken out by a sniper during one of the missions. And that sniper was Widowmaker. And ever since, Anna has been wearing the eye patch. So in this reality, Amelie has the cybernetic eye, and Anna actually still has both her eyes. She's not wearing an eye patch. And that is because that conflict, that mission, never happened in this reality. That could also mean that Mondata still lives. It's all in the details, guys. Talking about details, in this reality, Sombra is actually missing the scar in her eyebrow. I guess Sombra in this Mirrorverse is a little more careful. The razor. Moving on, we get to see Tracer and Brigitte both in the Talon skin. But if Tracer isn't Talon, who made her coronal accelerator? In the canon lore, it was Winston that made that device that she has on her chest. So does that mean that Winston is also in Talon? Or did someone else make it, like Sigma for instance? So many questions. Brugge, on the other hand, just looks like she's rebelling against her dad. Very hard. Those are red-colored lenses that she's wearing. That's edgy. Reinhardt shaved his beard when he joined Talon. Jesus Christ. Sell out. I'm so disappointed in the old man. And for some reason, he went all roadhog with the mask. And I don't want to be rude, but this Talon Reinhardt doesn't seem to be too smart either. Someone had to put his first name on his armor so he would find it. Up next was Mercy in her mythic skin. We've talked about this plenty. But did you notice that she has a small pin on her lapel? And that pin is a reversed pie. Or as my chat on Twitch called it, evil pie. That just makes me hungry. But that is actually Maximilian's symbol. And Maximilian in the canon lore is the accountant for Talon. He's the guy in the black car in that one mission that was set on Havana. So that could either mean that Max is the current leader in that reality for Talon, or that Mercy actually replaces him in Talon. And that, I don't know, Maximilian in this reality is serving burgers somewhere in Texas. I really hope we find out all these details when this event launches. I find this very intriguing, as you can tell. On this point in the trailer, we get to see some of these reimagined abilities that they'll be using in the limited time event called Mirrorwatch. And we also get to see Mercy's new abilities, and it seems that she's going a little low on the support, a little more on the DPS. Now, I'm working on a completely separate video that looks forward to all the abilities that they could be giving these heroes that will be in that limited time game mode. In other words, make sure to subscribe. Now let's get back to the trailer and maybe step back to Doomfist. We actually see him sporting a Reinhardt-style shield in this trailer. While Reinhardt, on the other hand, his shield seems to be replaced by some type of energy field. You can actually see that it doesn't stop damage. There's blood spattering all over the place when they shoot him. But again, we'll discuss what that might be in that future video. By the way, in case that wasn't clear, this whole mode is going to be set on this alternate version of Gibraltar. Now, I do hope there will be more reversed maps, because this event lasts for 2 weeks, and yeah, playing on that one single map would get boring pretty quickly. I'm thinking maybe about an Overwatch version of Rialto. Could be nice. But moving on. Next up, we see Bastion in his Gwenshyn skin. And this is a skin that has been in the game for a long time. Gwenshyn is actually an Omnic group, much like Null Sector is, but they operate from the East China Sea. And those are basically the guys that Mecha is fighting all of the time. But I do think it's safe to say that there will be some heroes in this Mirrorwatch mode that might already have a skin that is tied into the theme. Maybe like Baptiste, who already has a Talon skin. On the other hand, he's getting a completely new skin that I have a hard time placing. It looks like a scorpion. I don't know. It might be a teaser for the upcoming Egyptian mythology team that we're getting later this year, much like they did with the Ana skin for this season. Yeah, I had kind of this theory because of the Sanguine Curse skin in Season 9, which looked a lot like it would be a Talon skin, that the next season was going to be this Mirror Universe season. And that they moved that skin from Season 10 to 9 because they have an other and better Ana skin that fits the Mirror Universe team. And they do. There is a Talon Ana skin in this season. That's the one without the eye patch I talked about earlier. By the way, I also predicted the Null Sector Zenyatta that is going to be in the shop in Season 10. Now, I do not know if Zenyatta in this case is the leader for Null Sector or he's just joining Ramata and Null Sector, because in the canon lore, at some point, Ramata asks Zenyatta, who he considers his brother, if he wants to join him in this adventure that would eventually lead him to start Null Sector, and Zenyatta declines because he wants to stay at the monastery. But I guess in this Mirrorverse, he didn't decline and he actually joined Ramatra. We're also getting a Junker Symmetra. I guess the Junkers have a new queen. And there's one skin that I think is not off team. I mean, the Baptiste Scorpion is probably off team, just a teaser, whatever. But this one, the Sojourn skin, really confuses me, because she is in the lineup with all of the Talon members, so with Reinhardt, Tracer, and Ana. But she's not sporting a red and black skin. Her skin is actually green and black. On top of that, it has a very different feel to it. Some people claim that she had the Talon logo on her shoulder, but I checked and that is not the Talon logo. It actually looks more like the Canadian maple leaf, but different. And I can't find any reference to an existing faction that has a similar logo to that. Now, because of that green and that more kind of African theme in the rest of that skin, I'm inclined to think that it has something to do with Numbani. Now, Numbani in canon lore is a safe space for both Omnics and humans. It's one of the few places in the world where Omnics and humans live next to each other in harmony. And the reason for that is that they're being protected by Effie and Orisa. But what if Effie did not build Orisa in this reality and Numbani fell to the hands of whoever? Clearly not Doomfist, because yeah, he's an Overwatch. I can't figure this one out. I need to get a closer look at the skin, because she also has writing on her leg that I can't read in this trailer. And you might have noticed that she has the number 33 on her knee. That is because she was hero 33 to be added to the game. So I guess they just kind of broke the fourth wall. Nevertheless, that surgeon skin is intriguing. I'm talking about Orisa. Later in the trailer, we get to see a dinky toy version of Orisa, which kind of looks like a dog. You know, that little flap seems to be a tongue. I don't know, I might be the only one that sees that. And there's a dinky toy Echo skin. After which we get to see some gameplay for the Clash mode that we'll be testing at the start of the season on the Hanaoka map, which is going to be the first Clash map, first of two. And that map is of course based on Hanamura. Now in the temple on Hanaoka, there is a painting of a dragon fighting a tiger. The dragon stands for the Shimada clan, while the tiger is probably pointing at the Hashimoto clan. So it seems that that story, now that Hanzo and Genji kind of are aware of each other, is going to move in that direction. And Kiriko is probably going to play a role in all of that. By the way, that little ducky you can see on Hanaoka, that is going to make a very funny weapon charm. And the last thing I want to point out in this trailer is that Venture, and that final shot is actually kicking the ass of a few Talon guns, which shows their alliance. Clearly not in cahoots with Talon. Good news. But these were all of the small details and Easter eggs that I found throughout this trailer. Maybe I have missed some, let me know in the comments. However, for now, that was it. A huge thank you to my patrons. I could not make these videos without you guys. I'm forever grateful. Check out this video on why I think we might have been testing Space Ranger in that April Fool's mode. Click it. But above all, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.